This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's the buzz?
Oh my gosh. So much traffic today.
The traffic was psychotic. I left the house at 6:15. Excuse me, 7:15. And it took me 55 minutes to get here, and I live about maybe 7 miles away.
Yeah, just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you had to drive from like Victoria, Minnesota, or anything like that. Just we can pretty much see your house from here.
Do they have to bring emergency vehicles in every day to make sure the lights work, that the bulbs won't burn out because they're on constantly now?
I'll say that. And anytime there's an accident, everybody that's driving by said accident feels like they have to stop.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, is everybody okay? And then keep going.
Guy in front of me doing 38 in a 60. Yeah, baby.
Amazing.
Well, it's supposed to snow in like a month, so can't be too careful.
You get frost. Well, this is the last time one thing I will tell you, I am glad this is the last time I'm driving in from my daughter's house because we're watching the kids.
Yep.
And I just don't have this figured out where the traffic is at this particular time. It's literally 5-10 minutes later.
Yeah.
That's such a pet peeve of mine is like when I know the route, I know like, okay, I got to hit this light by this time. And then I know when I'll be able to get there. Or like when I'm leaving the Hubbard building, if I leave any later than like 4:15, I'm going to be stuck in end-to-end traffic for 20 minutes or whatever. But if I leave slightly before that, I'm going to be just fine. So it's I know what you mean with that.
Well, starting tonight, I'm sleeping at my own house, so I'll be driving. So I should get here tomorrow. Probably if I adjust for everything, I'll get here tomorrow by like about 4:30 in the morning. So that's good. Jesus, Bellamy, what the hell? All right. What are you going to do? Anything we should know about? Is everything okay?
God, I think so. Not that I know.
Yeah, I think everything's fine. I was talking to AJ. Did you watch Monkey Man?
What is Monkey Man again?
I think you would like it. It's from what I was able to interpret the movie as, it's like an Indian John Wick. It's just killing people from start to finish. And when he's not killing people, he's like a wrestler in like some Indian underground wrestling MMA club thing. And
I think I got his leg snapped in half yesterday, or 2 days ago. Did you see that video?
You're not talking about the football player?
No, a wrestler it happened to too.
Oh no, I didn't see that one.
His left knee took the hard left turn and touched his left shoulder. I mean, his foot did. I mean, holy Christ!
That's not
good. No, and I'm sure the TV showed it like 1,000 times in slow motion, backwards motion.
It's true. All right, we'll take a quick break here because you got to get these hun yucks on from some sports deal or something.
Yeah, I guess we got to get Judd on.
Hey, gotta get him on.
Yes, we got to get him on.
Hi, Tom Barnard here for Livia Weight Control Centers. Ready to lose weight for good. Today is the day. Livia Days and big offers were just announced. Matter of fact, I'm going to see them tomorrow. And by the way, don't be afraid to tell them the truth. Look, I've been moving again for another month and a half. I said, Catherine, this is the last move I'm going to make for many, many years now. It's just how it's going to be. So I literally have not eaten a decent, healthy meal in about 5 weeks. I'm sure I put on like 10, 15 pounds just from running. I haven't been able to weigh myself because, where's the scale? Oh, I left it at the other place. Like, oh, Jesus. So I'm going to go and tell them tomorrow, I don't care if I weigh 15, 20 pounds more. It doesn't matter to me. I got to get back in the saddle because we're done now. Thank God, finally.
Yeah, now you can like focus back in.
Yep, and that's what it's going to take. So, I mean, no big deal. So if I'm on the Livia program, the hard hitting, and by hard hitting, I mean the one that really works, because they all work, but this one works very quickly. But it just is not going to be a problem. I'd be pissed off normally, going, oh God, I lost all that weight, and then I put some back on. I understand why I did, and they'll get it off, and everything will be cool. Whether you're looking for a holistic approach through customized nutrition support or medical weight loss solutions, or both, they've got you covered with their award-winning nutrition plans. Not only will you lose weight, you'll learn how to keep it off. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe I should do your moving weight loss class. That's what I should do.
Just picking up boxes and moving them to the next room over. Yeah.
It's a very niche audience, but I think the people that need it are going to love it.
I like that too. It's like, I'll just go grab us something to eat. Here, Dad, I bought you a Snickers and a Three Musketeer. Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Dinner of champions.
Dinner of champions, baby. In any case, the team at Livia Medical offers GLP-1 medication options tailored just for you. Livia is the premier choice. Why settle for anything less than the best? Voted number one in weight loss year after year. And right now is a perfect time to choose the best. I said the best. Livia days are here for a very limited time. Visit livia.com. That's LIVEA.com. Or call 855-GO-LIVIA and receive 8 weeks free off Livia's nutrition plan. When you join Livia Medical, GLP-1 medications are now available for new clients for just $199 a month for a very limited time. Visit livia.com, or, of course, you can just call 855-GO-LIVIA.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Yeah, baby. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? No, it does not. Sometimes anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough. Now, that can be overwhelming, no question about that. But what if I told you you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, and I'm very serious about that. Josh is a good friend of mine. He never sugar-coated advice on how to react. How are you going to reach that finish line with your retirement goals? Well, just follow Josh's lead. You'll be good to go. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer, damn it, or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, Security Investment Advisor. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, SKOR North, Judd, Zulgad, brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. And of course, we're here to talk about many, many things today. There's no question about it.
How about the fact that we had a goalie goal in the Wild game last night? First time it's happened in franchise history. At the end of the game, empty net.
Oh, yeah.
Filip Gustavsson playing goal, flips it all the way down the ice and scores a rare goalie goal. I think there's only been like 15 or 16 now in the history of the entire league. So
and only the third to do it while on a power play.
Yeah, there you go.
See, what do you think of that action?
How about that? Balance scoring, your goaltender scoring goals now.
You realize,
actually won too.
I was trying to figure this out, but you just answered my question for me. On the way in, I was listening to a lot of news reports and all the rest of it. And Charlemagne the God, that's kind of cocky, don't you think? Calling yourself the God, but that's just me. But I've been looking I got to come up with a good rapper name for myself, like Charlemagne the God or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you just gave it to me. I'm going to call myself Goalie Goal. Hey, man, goalie goal. What'd it be like? Freaky deaky?
Oh, that's so good. I like it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it metaphorically, it means rare, one of a kind.
There's
only 15 people that have ever done it.
Goalie goal.
Why not you?
It's got the alliteration,
yeah.
GG.
Yeah, it's got GG.
Double G.
Yeah, I like it.
G. No question about that.
Say it quick enough, it sounds good.
GG. In any case, so some good news going on sports-wise in Minnesota. There's no question about it. Football across Minnesota. Gophers QB recruit honors sister lost to SIDS. No, that's very nice. See, that's how life should be.
Yes. And we have a WNBA championship game here tonight.
The WNBA.
Game 3. Lynx and Liberty at Target Center.
And where do we stand?
1-1.
1-1, baby.
That's 3 of 5 too. So there's 2 games here, Wednesday and Friday. If they're swept by the Lynx, or New York, the series will be over. So yeah, no, it's a good week. We got the Vikings and Lions on Sunday. Big game there. It's an exciting week.
It is an exciting week. I got here just about 10 minutes ago because the traffic was psychotic. What's really great is you could take the freeway, but somebody's going to get in a car accident, at least a 3-car accident, by the way. And then when you get off the freeway, you know how to get to work, except you can't get there because all the traffic is stopped dead on the side roads. So that's good, don't you think?
It's funny you mentioned that. I actually went to go for hockey practice yesterday and made the mistake of trying to get to my parking ramp via Dinkytown.
Oh,
and
God.
I didn't. And I keep forgetting. Well, and I should know this. Can't they ever put a moratorium on road work on that campus?
That would be nice. Yes.
You couldn't get around Dinkytown because of the road work.
There are cones, and it's just you can't get anywhere right now. I suppose it's a good sign that they're fixing the roads. I guess that's the good part. But do we have to do it at rush hour? Is that necessary?
Well, we also should be just about done with the onset of winter coming. Like they need to get done quickly here, and or just abandon the work, stop the work, take the cones away, and see you next year.
Yeah, something like that. But hey, that's wonderful, marvelous, and whatever. But it drives me insane. I left the house 45 minutes before I was supposed to arrive, and I still didn't get here on time.
Yeah, well, and the accidents, there's nothing that can be done about that. But no, I'm with you. I think the amount of road construction that goes on in this state is crazy. No doubt, no question. And the biggest problem you got is that if you are going to listen, there are a few. Well, like I listen to Crisco and Des and Les because they're very nice people, So I tune them in. Absolutely. You guys know Crisco at all?
No, but I used to listen to him back in his KDWB days.
Oh, great guy.
Has he been fired from everywhere just like me? He and I got the fired record, I think. Get fired quite a bit in any case. You heard what happened to me yesterday with Michael, or Monday with Michael Bryant, didn't you?
No.
You hear about this? We're just sitting there schmoozing like we're sitting there today, blah, blah, blah. Typical attorney, Michael Bryant. I mean, we've been friends for like 25 years, but other than that doesn't matter in this argument. We're out talking about something I didn't even know what it was about. I said, maybe I'll reach out to some people. And he goes, well, I don't know if that's a good idea. I said, what do you mean? He goes, God, I know at least 5 people that hate you. It's like, what? Why would you, first of all, tell me that? And secondly, why would I give a rat's ass? I don't hate anybody because I wouldn't give them the effort it takes to hate somebody.
And what does that have to do with reaching out to people? Unless you particularly named one who hated you and he knew it, and he might say, you don't want to reach out to so-and-so, but it sounds like you didn't. So
I have had an interesting life, and maybe you guys can chirp in on this one if you've had any experiences, but I've had to use attorneys my whole life. I just had to. If you're going to get on the air and be a prick to people, you better get an attorney before you do it. That's all I'm saying. But attorneys have caused me more problems. I mean, not Michael Bryant. He's a good friend, and he's my current attorney. He does a good job. But most attorneys are horseshit at their job. Not all of them, just most of them. Have you noticed that?
I have, knock on wood, fortunately, talking about sports, not have had to delve into that world too much. Now, I did talk to a bunch of them back in the day when I covered the Vikings for the Star Tribune. I know you're going to be shocked by this because at that time,
the Vikings tended to get in trouble.
No.
But no, I have honestly not like worked the system enough to know what they're like.
Well, I have some. I could say I have several friends that are attorneys. They're good friends of mine, and I like them all. The rest of them, but that number is way outweighed. But some horseshit attorneys that I've worked with in the past, arrogant, couldn't care less about you. It's their fee they care about. So there's both. There's great attorneys, and I don't know if you know this or not, but some people are horseshit at radio. Did you know that?
No.
Podcasting and radio.
I refuse to believe that.
It's not.
I refuse. It's not true. Everyone who does it is great. I refuse to believe it.
I would like to thank my mother, even though she's long gone. But mom is in heaven right now, telling that I'm extremely pissed off about the traffic this morning, and I just realized that about my delivery just now is. There's a bit of anger attached to everything I've brought up so far. Do you think that has to do with the traffic that took to get here?
Yeah, but I don't blame you. I've had the same thing happen. It's maddening.
God drives you nuts
because it throws your whole like day off for a while, right?
Indeed.
So
any sports news we should know all about that I probably have no clue about?
No. I think like I said, the big news is the basketball game in town tonight, and the Vikings coming up on Sunday, which will be exciting. The Vikings did make a small trade yesterday. They got a guy by the name of Cam Akers, a running back who played for them last year, signed with Houston. They traded for him to come back just to add depth there. But I mean, that's not a major move. It's not a move that's going to cause a lot of discussion probably. But no, I mean, it's just it's a great time of year because now, you got football in full swing. The NBA starts, I think it's next week. The Wolves start next week at the Lakers. The Wild is playing. Hockey is going. So it's a good time of year. It's a great time of year to be a sports fan.
Yeah, no, it is. You're absolutely right. Except for the Twins part. But,
Well, the baseball playoffs ongoing,
I don't care about
You're going to be shocked. The Yankees won again last night.
No.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
I, for one, am blown away by that information.
It looks like we're going to get a Yankee. Well, we're not. It looks like we are going to get probably at this point a Yankees versus Mets Subway Series or Yankees versus Dodgers.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Makes me want to throw
Yankees
up.
Mets would be like, as a non-baseball super fan, would be cool just to say like have the Subway, because that's a Subway Series, right? Like they're
Subway
right next
Series.
to each other.
2000
finals game. Or finals game, World Series.
Finals. He's back in basketball, ladies and gentlemen. He's got it covered. Okay, I want to cover one headline with you because I know you got to go here in a second, but I want to cover one headline with you. Okay.
Sure.
You know how I talk to people about the fact that I graduated high school when I was 16? They made me go to homeroom every day before they'd give me the diploma just so they'd get the money for me showing up every day.
Okay.
It's a money deal and all the rest of it. And I know a lot of people, look, I had some very mediocre teachers in my life. I had a couple of good ones. Most of them were horse shit. And some were very mediocre. Nothing ever topped this one, ladies and gentlemen. Substitute teacher reenacted George Floyd murder at a Woodbury high school. The teacher, now banned from South Washington County schools, also allegedly mimicked pointing a gun at students.
What?
During classes on Monday. He's now under investigation by the district. What is wrong with you, sir? He's pointing a gun at his students? What are you doing?
You don't have to reenact everything in the history books. Like you don't have to go outside and throw tee boxes in the river.
How do you get that far over your skis on a day you're substituting though?
I know.
Like
great way to put it, by the way. Say that again.
I said, how do you get that far over your skis on a day you're substituting? I mean, literally, you're just there. You're just there to make sure that things remain in order for the teacher to come back, right?
Right. You're supposed to show a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch a movie.
Your role is to it's like a worksheet day. It's like, hey, this should take you the entirety of the class. If you finish, you just hang out and talk, or we're watching a movie. That's really the two options. You don't need to do any hands-on.
Kids,
please, no hands-on learning in this place.
Hey kids, you want to do some method acting? Like what is
unbelievable.
And scene.
Yep.
I got to know more about this. Like this. Yes, that is.
Well, somebody just walked in. Maybe it's the substitute teacher.
It looks like the teacher put a student on the ground in front of the class as part of a reenactment of the police actions that resulted in the murder of George Floyd, reenacted the prone restraint that resulted in the death, twisted a student's arm behind the student. I mean, this it's a long list of instances that happened.
Is this in the Star Tribune?
This is on actually KSTP.com.
Okay, KSTP.com.
Who works there?
Our next
Chris Egert. Doug Sprinthal just got here. So we're just talking about the fact that I'm going to read you the headline here, Dougie.
Okay.
Substitute teacher reenacted George Floyd murder at Woodbury High School. The teacher now banned from South Washington schools. Also allegedly mimicked pointing a gun at students during classes on Monday. He's now under investigation by the district.
Well, there's more to it, actually.
You know the story?
No, I heard the story last night.
God.
He also was talking about all the murders and sex crimes he investigated as a former policeman, but he never served in the state of Minnesota. So I don't know. This guy's a great example of wonderful teachers.
Unbelievable.
Off the rails. He spoke at a bar fight where he fake punched a student with his fist, quote, really close to the kid's face.
What?
Who allowed this guy to be a substitute is the question.
I know.
This seems like a good substitute teacher for my class. Oh my God. And
he's not drooling.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
I got to go, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, say goodbye to Bill the Crusher substitute before you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to the bar and have a drink with him right now.
All right, Pally. We will
see y'all. Bye.
See you tomorrow. He was very fired up about that. That's a good thing, though, isn't it? We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Talk some serious news with Chris Egert. Owner Tim Bloom and his staff at EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake and Burnsville specialize in quality, affordable scooters, mopeds, youth ATVs, motorcycles, electric bicycles. I want to talk to Dougie about that in a minute. ATVs, go-karts, side-by-sides for the Twin Cities area. EcoFun Motorsports offers premier brands such as Bentelli, Lance, Kawasaki, Moto Guzzi, Scoot Star, Yamaha. I'm going to change my name to Scoot Star.
That's a great name.
That's even better than goalie.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
I think. Scoot Star in the morning. Yamaha, Vanderhall, Vespa. Oh, Vespa. I remember Vespa.
Oh, yeah.
And Wild Side, among many others. Already looking for early holidays to take advantage of? Visit EcoFun Motorsports, the premier outdoor recreation playground in the Twin Cities, and take advantage of their unbelievable Yamaha electric bike sale going on now through November 4th, which just happens to be our birthday time.
Right, the day before my birthday.
And 3 days before my birthday. Is there any chance that maybe somebody could reach out to Tim Bloom over here at EcoFun Sports and say, hey, you know, those electric bikes you're talking, maybe Tommy and Dougie need one?
I've got an idea. You guys, you both are close. You buy each other an e-bike over at EcoFun, and then you end up with one yourself. So
I like it.
Nice.
Do they have eco tandem bikes?
They have side-by-sides.
Side-by-side.
There you go.
Why? What's that all about?
Because you could be like the two best friends riding around.
I thought you were going to pick up chicks or something.
Can I do something weird? Or is this the middle of the spot still?
That's fine.
Because it's related.
Yeah. That's fine.
I know, I'm a lefty, but I'm going to pick on Tim Walz for a minute. Is that okay?
Jeez, no. Who would ever okay that? So he and I are close.
I know, the tightest tigers. So they came out with a rebate if you buy an electrical bike, right?
Yes, right.
Everybody I know that owns one of these things is almost retired. They're all white Republicans. And it's supposed to be this big environmental savings. Mm-hmm. So they have the hitches on the back of their F-150s to put the e-bikes on there so they can drive them someplace, burn a shitload of gas, and then go riding around. It's like the dumbest program ever. I'm sorry, Governor. Anyway, I'm done.
Well, he's pretty stupid, so it fits right in. So,
have you been watching SNL?
I heard SNL is really good this year.
We watched the first two episodes.
I've heard it's really good.
And they've been teeing off on the Republicans and the Democrats.
Good.
Jim Gaffigan is playing Walz in the cold open.
That's what I heard.
He's great. And then they brought Dana. They went to the bullpen and they got Dana Carvey playing Biden, and he's
love Dana Carvey.
He's perfect. I mean,
I got to watch it.
Let's go.
So they're back to doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
picking on everybody.
everybody.
That's how it should be. All right, here's the deal. Owner Tim Bloom says this is the biggest deal he has ever been a part of. 17 years in the motorsports business. These are high-quality Yamaha designed and built bikes that need to get sold, baby. ASAP, as a matter of fact. Buy the Yamaha SKOR RC electric bike, ideal for bike trails, sidewalks, and roads. MSRP is $29.99, but it's currently on sale. No, they're normally $3,000. You can buy one now for just a buck short of $1,200. Ooh, man.
Let's go.
Let's go over there, Doug.
Sarah's been bugging me to get electric bikes.
Catherine's doing the same, plus freight and setup and tax. Buy a full suspension off-road Yamaha YDX Moro electric mountain bike, original MSRP, $4,800. And again, this is all $1 short of that. It's $47.99, but I'm going $48. Mm-hmm. On sale for $19.19 now through November 4th. Or buy the race version, the Yamaha YDX Moro Pro electric mountain bike, original MSRP of $54.99, now on sale for $21.99. Both models come with a free second battery and a 5-year warranty. Colors and sizes are on a first-come basis, so hurry into EcoFun Motorsports today in Forest Lake or Burnsville to get your Yamaha electric bike now before they're gone. Visit EcoFunMotorsports.com and tell owner Tim Bloom that Tom Bernard's on his way in to get one too.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Yeah, baby. Let's take a second to talk about my bank. That'd be North American Banking Company. If you own a business or thinking about starting one, make sure to check out my friends at North American Banking Company. When your business is looking to capitalize on opportunity or solve a problem, turn to their experts because they're locally owned and operated. Loan decisions are made here in the Twin Cities, not shipped out of state. This helps business owners expand with confidence. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. You ever been a substitute teacher, Chris?
I'm not, but I did hear you guys talking about that story this morning, which is obviously that was our top story this morning today.
What is wrong with this psychopath?
You guys left out a couple things. Told sexist jokes, spoke in disturbing detail about dead bodies he had seen, shared explicit details about 2 sexual assault cases he investigated, shared specific names of people he arrested, stated that cops would be the best criminals. They know how to get away with stuff. Spoke at length about his gun collection, said that police brutality isn't real, among other things.
Sounds like he's not right in the head.
And maybe I missed it. How old were the kids in this class?
High school kids. I'm not sure how old.
High school?
Yeah. And I think we reported earlier it was an English class. And I guess I'm wondering how
that ties in.
I mean, I used to love I remember one of our teachers in particular, I'm not going to say his name, who's a great teacher, but in high school, we would purposely try to derail him because we knew that rather than doing boring overheads about XYZ, if we could derail him and get him talking about something else, like it would make the day much more entertaining, right? We wouldn't have to learn about boring XYZ. But yeah, I have no idea how they went from English to prone restraint.
I just don't really understand why he Was he trying to make himself look better in front of the kids, or trying to get accepted, or what was he doing?
I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like to me, but
yeah.
I have no idea. It just yeah. And it's a little confusing about, apparently it sounds like I don't know if it's a subcontract thing, but they have the school district, it's Woodbury School District, has some sort of entity that helps them to staff with their substitute teachers. So I'm interpreting it as it's almost like a staffing agency for substitute teachers.
Oh.
Like
I don't know what
help schools out in a certain area, and they just call, and it's like, okay, hey Jim, you're going to Woodbury today. Hey, whoever else you're going to town over. Okay.
I have a friend who subs a little bit, and that is exactly how it works.
It is okay. So yeah, that and then we had another story today. It's a little convoluted because there's parents involved and whatnot, but down in Blooming Prairie, a coach grabbed the face mask of a Byron player during a play. I don't know if you guys happen to catch it on TV today. We've got it on our website, but they're like little tykes. And the Byron player was running after a Blooming Prairie player, and they were out of bounds. And the coach grabbed the kid from the other team by the face mask and just kind of like jerked his face away.
Wow.
I mean, Tevin, if somebody grabs your face mask, you're pretty helpless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was like this guy like snagged the kid like he was a foul ball, except it wasn't his player. It was a player from the other team. I got a feeling we're going to hear more about that.
What the hell?
Yeah, and then once you get,
when you're laying hands on somebody else's kid, that generally never ends very well in these days. Now, back in some of our days here, that was perfectly acceptable behavior, but
yeah, I'm sure there was somebody's dad was having to be restrained from coming down on the field and letting the coach have it.
Andy Barnard, of course, I think he was maybe 5th grade, something like that. Andy could get a little wound up in school and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Other kids told me this story, by the way. He didn't tell me. And then he admitted that it did happen. So apparently the teacher went after him because he was making too much noise or this or that or the other thing. And Andy, at the time, so in 5th grade, he's going to be, what, about 11?
Yeah, 11, 12.
11 or 12. Yeah, don't talk to me like that. The teacher's like, what? He goes, don't talk to me like that. I'll have my dad come over here and kick your ass. Oh, okay. Well, let me see if I can get off the show early to come over and beat up your teacher there, Andy. Jesus. I don't even know where he ever came up with that. Oh,
so did you do it?
I was going to say so.
Yeah, I want to know what I need some closure on that story to sit if you went and did it or what.
Boy, look at the time. No, I did not. I did not go do that. That would not have been a good thing to do. But, what are you going to do, right? So what other big news you got, Pally? I know you got to go in like 1 minute, but.
It's MEA weekend, so everyone's flying. So the airport, if anybody happens to be flying who's listening right now, it's going to be busy at the airport next couple days.
Well, they're going to enjoy that top ranked airport, though, Chris.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. I have a friend who every time he flies, he checks in at the bathroom where that Larry Craig senator got in trouble for the
foot tapping.
Yeah, and there's a
wide stance. That's all it was.
You can check in, and it's like the Larry Craig bathroom. There's like a check-in spot there. It's so funny every time.
Oh my God,
that's all I think of at the airport is I think of my friend Bill, who always checks in there.
He does.
Lynx are tonight. I don't know if Judd talked about that, but
we talked about it a bit.
Yeah, that's about all we have going on. Shelby was on yesterday. I think I told you that, Tom.
I'm going to see him Saturday night. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Shelby's a great guy. He's, that whole Channel 4 lineup was so nice to me. It was unbelievable. Well, Channel 4 and Channel 5, perfect. Channel 9 and 11, not your huge Tommy fans.
Does Shelby still swear every other word, or has he got that
Around
out of
me,
the
he
system
does.
finally? Oh,
You know, when he and I used to sit on top of the building, Channel 4 news building, and smoke cigars and drink, have a glass of wine or two, boy, those were fun days. Those were a good time right there. That was a few years ago now, though, because neither one, I don't think he's had anything to drink in what?
It's been 20 some years.
20 years.
I was listening to him and he told this story, and I hopefully get it right. You asked him about this.
I love the
But
guy.
he was just plastered hanging out with a buddy of his
Mhm.
and woke up the next morning, and neither one of them remembered they just drank a $30,000 bottle of wine out of the guy's collection. And he went, yeah, it might be time to.
What were the guys'
Might be time to hang it up.
initials? Did he give the guys?
He did
initials?
not.
Good.
Was that you?
I'm really glad that he didn't give the initials of the guy he was drinking with.
Definitely was not TB.
It was definitely not TB, ladies and gentlemen. Catherine, are you listening? Because it was definitely not TB.
Damn, you guys are ballers if you got $33,000 bottles of wine laying around. Woo-wee!
That kind of, well, I used to study wine, so I used to buy wine at a very good price. And then I
Yeah,
will
you
say
made-
this.
You made money on wine, right?
Yeah, a lot.
I
And
never could keep it around long enough to make a dime.
But let me say this, and I say this because Catherine helped out a great deal with it, that we ended up donating tons of money to charity by selling that wine.
Sure.
So that was nice.
Devin, let's start a charity.
Let's start a charity. Let's go.
Pittman House, a
Yes.
place
Right.
where Tevin lives.
Pittman House. Yes, no question. All right, I know you got to go, Buster, but way to turn on me.
Yeah, sorry. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Good to see you, Doug.
Yeah, good to see you, Chris. Take care.
See you guys.
Dougie. Who's better than Dougie? Answer my
A
question.
lot of people.
Well, that's true. A lot
Rather
of people.
long list, actually.
Bring it
But
up.
we got to get to break.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. So I need an update on the guest registry here.
The guy that we potentially had after this break, I've not heard from yet, so I'm assuming no, but we are locked in at 9 o'clock.
Well, because it says here 9 o'clock he was supposed to be on. You're a disaster.
Dave.
Oh yeah, I forgot to change the.
Oh, Dave will be on at 9.
So Devin, you mean?
Devin, sorry, Devin, and then.
Well, you guys are really good guest bookers.
Sorry,
you got two guest booked.
We've got Devin and Doug. And Doug, they just said.
I think Devin and Tevin.
Devin and Tevin.
Yeah.
Doug just said at our agreed upon time, but there was no agreed upon time, and so they didn't let us know what time we allegedly agreed upon out of the 2 that I sent them.
Wait, you never know. I'm getting a
reads
call right now.
anything.
So maybe it is maybe it is Dave.
Yeah,
it's Dave, Doug, or Drew,
or
Devin, or somebody with a D.
Call him
we
Heavy
better,
D.
we better take a break just in case it is Doug Jones. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution one product company. Well, since then they now have hundreds of products. As a matter of fact, some you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towels, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. You're looking for a good night's sleep like we all are? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of My Pillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You are indeed, ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest, Doug Jones, joining us. Final season of What We Do in the Shadows. Doug reprises his role as the Baron. In the
Hello, yes, the Baron is here. Hello.
The Baron, Doug the Baron Jones. I like your picture at the bottom because, you first of all, they try to make you as lithe as they possibly can so you could move around very quickly. Man, you're in good shape.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you. At 64, who doesn't want to hear that? Right?
Well, that's, I suppose, very, very true. I'm one of those kind of guys. And I don't know, a lot of grandfathers in the neighborhood where I was growing up and all the rest of it, because I've always loved movies like What We Do, or TV shows like What We Do in the Shadows, Nosferatu, a Symphony of Horror. Doug stars Count Orlok. I love the name Count Orlok, too, by the way.
Yes, it's also known as Nosferatu. Yeah,
Nosferatu,
yes,
yep. I like that a lot, but I always liked these kind of movies. And I remember one time talking to my friend about it, and we were talking about, Tom, you watch a lot of the horror films, this, that, and the other. And look, we're 8, 9 years old, something like that. And I said, oh yeah, it's really fantastic. Mm-hmm. His grandfather comes in after overhearing us talk. He looks at me, he goes, "What's your name?" I said, "Tom." He goes, "Tom, let me make a guess. I heard what you've been talking about. You're Roman Catholic, aren't you?" When I said, "Yep." He trapped me.
Right. Yes, Roman Catholic. We tend to have like a lot of folklore in church history, and lots of iconography to pull from our imagery from. Yeah, so a vampire is often dressed in long gowns and has their hands folded just so. Yeah.
That is very, very true. How did you get involved in this kind of thing? First of all, I am not an actor. If I were an actor, yeah, you do what you do, you get the jobs you get. But I'd have to once in a while star in a horror film because I just love it. I have since, and maybe it is because I grew up a Roman Catholic kid and was part of the culture and my friends and all the rest of it. But I mean, I know it's a lot of work still and all the rest of it. But man, it looks like you're having fun doing it too.
Well, I mean, what kid doesn't want to dress up?
Right.
But so that's the fun part. But the tedious part is when you're doing it day after day after day. and then now 38 years of later of this career under rubber bits, it's like, I want to play more humans now. But the monsters have been very good to me over the years. They really have been. And like when I was a kid, you talk about watching old movies, horror films when you're a kid. Mm-hmm. I watched Boris Karloff play the Mummy. That was my first film ever of that ilk. And then he played Frankenstein, of course. And I'm watching these reruns on Friday night, scare shows in Indianapolis, Indiana, where I grew up. And then the creature from the Black Lagoon, I said, I loved him in the water. So now I've played 2 water creatures over my career as well. So it's just like, we do get art does inspire other art. And I've been hearing that a lot from people now that I'm an older fellow that has a filmography behind me. A lot of makeup artists and young actors have come up to me and said, you know what, I was watching you in this or that, and that's why I do what I do today. So it's like, it kind of a gift that keeps on giving.
Do you have any young children or anything like that, Doug?
No, I have a 44-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old grandson.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay.
Because one of these days, the 3-year-old grandson is going to be 4 years old, 5 years old, whatever, and he's going to have a conversation with the next door neighbor's kid. Yeah. Well, my grandfather's name is the Amphibian Man. What do you think of that?
Yeah. Actually, actually, he doesn't know yet. He doesn't know what Grandpa Dougie does.
Okay, Grandpa Dougie.
Yeah, he doesn't. He hasn't watched any screens up to this point.
Oh, I suppose. I suppose that's
so. That's a very healthy way to raise a child, by the way. He's a creative, wonderful, intelligent kid. So we're gonna leave him off screens as long as we possibly can, and then one day he'll find out that Grandpa Dougie is in a lot of shows and movies, whatever.
Oh, and why? Look, I mean, obviously, the story from the Bible, there, this, that, and the other thing, all the rest of it. Why do human beings need that? The presentation of the dark side of humanity. I need to watch that kind of stuff. Make me aware of maybe there are some nut jobs out there that they don't do this, but close enough. We do need horror films, I would think, in our society.
Well, what I find from the fan base, honestly, is a sense of healing from it all. Even though they go down a dark path and watch some horrific story with monsters in it or whatever, but by the time you turn that TV off or walk out of that movie theater, I think you're a little bit empowered to tackle the demons and monsters in your real life. You've watched an example of winning, and that's why when I do a darker film, I like it to have a redemptive quality to it, not just like blood on the wall, and then at the end of the movie, the problem is going to go into a sequel. That's not my favorite kind of thing to do.
I got to read this. It's a long descriptor, but there's a need to do it. Talking to Doug Jones about final season of What We Do in the Shadows. Doug reprises his role as the Baron in the series' final season, premiering October 21st on FX. Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror. Doug stars as Count Orlik. Director David Lee Fisher's remix of the original 1922 film. And then Disney's Hocus Pocus 1 and 2. Doug stars as Do you ever stop working, Doug?
No, not really. but the Hocus Pocus is a legacy film. It's the first one was from like 30 years ago now, but part two we just were able to do because the first one was so popular and the fans made it so even more popular over the years as it built on television airings and then home video collections and downloads, and it was such a huge hit that they couldn't not do a second one. So Halloween 22 is when it came out, and it just now it's been on Disney Plus the whole time, and now it's finally on TV this month on Freeform channel all month as a double feature with the first one. So that's kind of a big deal that now people who don't get Disney Plus can finally see it.
That's
and I get to of course play a zombie in that. It's my month of zombies and vampires. So Billy Butcherson is a goofy zombie that was I got to play before zombies were cool. And he's lighthearted and funny, and he just wants to go back to sleep. He's not a brain eater. He just wants to go back to bed.
That works for me. I know you only got a couple more minutes, Doug, but honest to God, just the name Billy Butcherson, I now will go by Tommy the Terrifier. But that name's already taken. Terrifier 3's out now, so I can't even use it.
It is, and and David Howard Thornton, who plays the clown, Art the Clown, is a friend of mine, so I'm well aware of the Terrifier.
God, my favorite stuff, Doug, are the comments. I grew up in a pretty tough neighborhood, so a lot of people like to talk back to the movie screen when we'd be watching it, but it was in such great ways. There's one scene, matter of fact, we had a young woman in studio talking about this very thing because it came up, and she said she got in some trouble because Tevin, she dropped the big N. This is a young black woman, by the way. Mm-hmm. Were you here when she did it?
I don't think so.
Honest to God, Doug, who is the character that drops the key up in the mountain? Oh, what the hell's in it? It's not a human character. It's another kind. And they have a key to some certain thing about the movie, and they drop it in the cavern, and it causes all these problems and all the rest of it. Apparently, when this character dropped the key into the cavern, she in a very loud voice said, "Big N, do your job."
Wow. Oh, dear sakes.
Dear sakes, indeed. Doug Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Doug, you got to come back because I love horror films. They were a huge part. Well, they're still a huge part of my life. There's no question about it. I just kind of like looking at that side of what things could be and luckily are not.
Right. And like Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror, it's a classic vampire tale, but it's also a cautionary tale. Our young lead human in the movie, he's making choices that leads to my coming after his wife, basically, and it was kind of his decision to make in the beginning. So it's a good way to evaluate the choices we make in life and go, you know what? What's the outcome of this choice going to be?
I love that. That works for me. And let me say this in closing. That look you have on your face in the picture they sent along with this descriptor, that's a very scary look. You've been working on that one?
Oh gosh, yeah. But yeah, when as a young actor in a mirror, are you kidding me? Of course I did.
Doug, come back soon. I love talking to you, pal.
No, me too. You. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thanks, Doug Jones, ladies and gentlemen. I do love. You guys love horror films?
I'm not a big horror fan, actually.
Either people are or they're not. It's kind of interesting.
I scare easily. No, I do.
I can see that. I can see you scare easily, Doug.
Really?
I started the Friday the 13th series back when I worked in the hospital. And I went to the first one with two friends of mine who were both RNs, and one used to be a surgery nurse. Those gals were just sitting there the whole time. And I'm freaking out. I mean, nurses have seen it all. You're not going to scare a nurse.
Do you want to take a break?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm still waiting to get that call back from Art.
That was great, though, because Doug would be phenomenal.
I didn't realize he played Billy Butcherson because I've had to see.
I love that name, by the way.
I've had to see Hocus Pocus now a handful of times just because my girlfriend loves that movie. And I mean, he's like such a fun comic relief character in that. I mean, the whole movie is great. And it's it's comedy all the way through, but it's like you get through the first time watching and you're like, oh, it's this scary zombie, and all of a sudden it's like, no, this guy is like, he's just like, man's best friend, dog type thing. So
he's a dog, a little
basically,
puppy.
yeah,
a little puppy coming into the house, no question about it. We'll take a break, be right back. More fun right after this. I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said, so why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Mike Lindell of MyPillow employees want to thank all our listeners for all your continued support. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products some of you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towel sets, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. You're looking for a good night's sleep? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're loaded for bear now because we got Tiff in. We got everybody. Do we not?
Yeah, the boat's rocking.
Yeah.
The boat is rocking. Is Devin ready to go?
Sure is.
Devin Sidell. What's happening, Devin? What's the latest?
Oh, my goodness. I'm here in Indianapolis with the Heartland Film Festival with our film Love Danielle.
Love Danielle with Amy King, Leslie Ann. Ooh, I like that. Devin Sidell. Now, who's Devin Sidell again? That's you. That's right. Just kidding.
That's me.
Barry Boswick. The whole situation, Love Danielle, was made possible by the generous support of private donations, grants, and support from Mentor, Own the Day, and Allergen Aesthetics. Well, I tell you what, instead of me reading about it, why don't you tell us about it? What's it all about, Devin?
All right. Well, Love Danielle is the first scripted feature film to tackle the difficult decisions faced by someone who carries a BRCA gene mutation but has not been diagnosed with cancer. And it is based on my own personal story. And I promise you, after I said all of that, that it is a comedy.
Okay.
All right.
Will that work? Yeah, that'll work. That's wonderful. No question about it. So it's a. How do you get to comedy? That's what I'd like to know. How do you get there?
Great question. So I think that like everybody in this world has gone through something, some sort of challenge that they've had to overcome. And it's sort of after that situation that you can look back, I think, and find the like absurdity of some of the things you had to do to get through it. Life is kind of crazy. And you're kind of able to process it and process the trauma after the fact. And that's kind of what we're doing here. It's also a way to make Love Danielle sort of more palatable as it is about these genetic mutation issues and cancer.
Now, I have to ask for your permission for something. Love Danielle, is that is you in the picture they sent, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Whose idea was it to put the smile on your face?
We worked with this incredible poster company called BLT, and when we saw that option from them, we said, that is it. That tells the story of the film. It is about this woman, again, based on my own personal experience, who is faced with these ridiculous decisions. I mean, so when you have a BRCA gene mutation, your predisposition for specific cancers is astronomical. Men and women can carry this mutation. For men, there's a risk of prostate cancer, pancreatic cancer. For women, it can also be pancreatic cancer, ovarian cancer, breast cancer. It depends on which exact mutation you have. And having to go through with making crazy decisions like removing my ovaries and my fallopian tubes and removing my breasts to avoid developing cancer. And yet acting like everything was fine because I didn't have cancer yet while my sister had cancer. This idea of the pasted on smile, saying, I'm fine, everything's fine, when truly you're faced with incredibly difficult decisions and you're facing some physical and emotional trauma.
Now, do you mind if I show the audience the picture?
Go for it.
Now, I do have to mention one thing before I show the picture. If you see a picture of me doing the same thing, it means I'm very pissed off at you and you better get away from me. Does that make sense, Devin?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I got to move it. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get it centered.
Yeah,
see,
Post-it note smile.
The Post-it note smile on Devin's face.
The fake smile.
But your eyes kind of give it away, but not totally, that you're maybe not that happy.
I know I love the juxtaposition of that. I just think it says so much about what Love Danielle is about. It's about pretending you're okay when you're not, dealing with your family that's dysfunctional, dealing with relationships, all the while making incredibly serious decisions about cancer. My sister had breast cancer, and when I discovered that I had the gene mutation, I was able to have surgeries that allowed me to avoid getting the cancer that I was watching my sister go through at that time. There's a lot of guilt that goes with that. There's a lot of guilt feeling like I got to avoid cancer while other people have to experience it.
God, Devin, that's so amazing you brought that up, because I have not one but two people. One of them is my brother-in-law, and then another family friend. I won't, give their name, but my brother-in-law, married to my sister Vicky, Jerry is his name, had a battle with cancer for several years. Got to stage 4 cancer. They told him he was not going to live much longer, that he should be wrapping things up, that, it's time to, all of a sudden, and I was never told the reason why, whatever, went from stage 4 cancer to 0 cancer in his body.
Wow.
How does that happen?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm so happy for him and your family.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Well, he's not that great a guy. No, I'm just kidding.
I take it back.
I take it back. I take it back. No, he's a great guy. He's a very good friend. But these things are happening now in the medical profession that just unbelievable. He should be dead.
Absolutely. I mean, if you can avoid getting cancer, that's incredible. This movie, I think, deals with, though, it's not an easy decision.
Right.
And I mean, so it's estimated that 1 in 200 to 400 people worldwide has a BRCA mutation, and only about 10% of those people know that they have it. And we are hoping to spread information about it so people can possibly find out if they have it and then maybe not have to get cancer.
You know what I'm going to do from now on? This is because of you, Devin Sidell. This is your fault. If somebody tells me a story or a joke that I've already heard or don't like, I'm going to okay, and that's that. And I'm going to go.
Grab the smiley Post-it note.
Just going to hold up my non-smile with a smiley face. I'm pretending to like your story there. You told me a joke I've already heard. What do you think?
Perfect. I'm so glad I could add that to your life.
Well, my life gets better every day. There's just no question about it. One thing I know you got to get going here in a couple of seconds, but I just got to ask you, this cast that was put together is phenomenal.
We're so lucky. They're amazing.
No, I meant you're amazing. The rest
we
of
have
them are
Leslie
okay.
Ann Warren, we have Barry Bostwick, Jamie King, we have Raymond Cruz. Raymond Cruz has an amazing scene about a man going in to get a mammogram. It's a fantastic performance.
I love it.
Right? I said it's comedic. It's comedy. It's great. He does an amazing job, but that is something that men have to do.
I had one 2
We're
years
trying
ago.
to normalize that.
Dougie just told me that he had the breast exam 2 years ago.
It was swollen. I
More
thought,
men I think
it was
yeah, the
weird.
fact that men can get breast cancer, you need to be aware of it.
Yep.
And if we want to normalize it, it's not something to be embarrassed about. It's a genetic thing.
But it's such a sad place because it's, the office is decidedly female. I mean, there's such a strong aura there. And they give you the test and then they tell you to wait here. And the place is covered with Kleenex boxes. And know that's the spot where you get the shitty news, right? It's just, it's terrible.
I have been in that situation too. Well, you have to see, you guys, you have to watch this film because there's this scene with Raymond Cruz that is exactly that. They think he's a woman. They're asking him when the last date of his menstrual period was. They're giving him a pink robe. He's incredible. It's an incredible scene in the film.
I just love the fact that the medicine has come this far now, though, that you can actually make an exciting and funny movie about things like this. You probably couldn't have done that like 25, 30 years ago.
I don't think so. Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, Deb, next time you have to come in studio, but you got to bring your smiley sticker.
I will totally bring my Post-it note. And I just want to let people know they can watch this movie virtually through October 20th at heartlandfilmfestival.org. And then after that, we're working with the distribution team. So hopefully it's going to be available for all audiences. And you can follow us on our website, lovedaniellefilm.com. And all of our social media is linked at the bottom.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time. And please do come back soon.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Devin. What a nice person,
But think about
Noah.
what she did. I mean,
I know
I'm going to go through all these surgeries because I'm probably going to get cancer. God, that's going to be a tough decision to make.
But how amazing. 2 people I know had stage 4 cancer, and both of them now have 0 cancer.
I'm not having a good cancer year.
You're not?
Personally, but 2 friends died on the same day. And I got 3 others that were diagnosed in the last 3 or 4 months.
When you say
and
cancer, I
one
thought you were
stage
talking
4
about
pancreatic,
management.
which is the bad one.
Stage 4 pancreatic, as bad as it gets, isn't it?
It's
not great.
Maybe you never know. Miracles happen, but it's
great that Deb came in today.
Yeah, really.
Well, wait a minute. What just did a story about cancer?
Real upper.
It was appropriate.
If we want to lighten the mood.
Yes.
Tiffany Norton's in the building now.
Yeah.
I always want to follow a cancer story.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not?
Casey Kasem.
Do you know how hard it is to be funny after, like, at a fundraiser, after like someone just gives a tearful or emotional speech, and you're following the little kid who's super inspiring, and you're like, Hi.
We're going to laugh at you now.
Lewis Black, I saw he did a great bit about having to warm up for Vince Gill and his wife.
Okay.
But like a big Christian music festival. He was so funny.
He is very funny.
He's absolutely one of my favorites. He does not get enough credit.
Are we heading back toward an area where people can actually laugh again?
People want it. I think people
God.
want it. I will say it's been slow though this summer. I think a lot of people have been comics as well. I mean, we're feeling it too because, whatever. I mean, I know we all banter around and in comedy, we do give each other a hard time, but when you don't know somebody and they're kind of coming at you online, like aggressively, like, I mean, this is the first year I've actually had someone advocate to have a show canceled because it was me as a performer. This is the first time I've
cancel your show,
cancel my performance. Yeah. And I don't want to go into details because it all worked out.
This sounds interesting.
Well, it all worked out. Wait.
Was it your mom or dad that did that?
No, they've been trying to get canceled unsuccessfully. My old man's a lawyer. He threatened to sue me after he saw me perform. He did. Tevin at the House of Comedy. Bastard snuck in. Didn't tell me he was coming.
The bastard snuck in.
He did. He didn't tell me he was coming. I had mentioned I was doing the show. Didn't mention that he was coming. He wanted to see what I was talking about. And I said something on stage about him.
Oh, God.
And then he didn't like it. I may have inferred that my mother was unsatisfied with him as a lover.
Oh my God.
Because she was. And
because she was.
And
she brought this up to you?
Yeah. When they got divorced. I mean, after the divorce. Good. I'm sorry. I should have thrown
that a little harsh, by the way. Your dad sucks in bed.
Well, no, it was like they didn't do, like, it just didn't happen.
Oh.
For like 17 years.
17.
Like it was a spell. But so nobody threatened to sue me. He's like, you can't speak disparagingly of me on stage.
Your
it's liable.
Father is going to sue you.
And I said, well, Dad, there's a couple problems with your legal argument there. Like, first of all, I didn't say your name.
Yeah, true.
So that's tough. And if you're going to go around suing all the comics to talk about their parents, start with Louis Anderson.
Yeah.
That's his whole act. But he dropped it eventually.
Do you think it's necessary to have at least one parent that's a pain in the ass to be funny?
Well, comedy itself, the more I go to therapy, this is just a coping mechanism, man.
There you go.
I got sober and realized this is all one big coping mechanism. I'm a miserable, needy person.
You don't look miserable.
I know, that's the makeup.
It's all the makeup.
Yeah, it's the makeup. That's the tears of you got to put on the face. But I don't think you want adoration from complete strangers. Because it's just, I think it's a response to not really feeling the love at home.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
It's pretty simple when you think about it. And everybody figures out how to show up in their family, right? Like, be the golden child. You're the scapegoat. You're the funny one. That was the one that worked for me.
That is so funny you bring that up, because I've talked about this before, that my father and I never got along, even when I was a little boy. So I finally realized that I would try to move toward him because he would move toward me.
Right.
You understand that.
Yep.
So I literally started researching comedy, a lot of comedy. And I was like 5 years old, something like that. And I would stand in front of the TV. I'd turn the TV off and do a comedy act for my father. And it's the only time I ever saw him smile.
Yep. Wow. That was the only time if I could get my old man to laugh, that was the best laugh. Yep. Well, when it wasn't a laugh, those laughs were not good. Those were the public laughs, like wait for the car.
Wait till we get the car.
When we are not making a public scene, it will be a different story. Yeah,
it is really interesting because God, how did you get that funny? You don't want to know how somebody got that funny. I'm just telling you.
And then how do you dial it back and actually have a real relationship and not just be an animal when things are not going well in your life? You know what I mean? Like it's. Do
we have another break to do, or you get them all in?
Yeah, can we take like a quick 2-minute break?
That works perfectly. We'll be right back. Tiff. I'm not calling her Tiffany Norton. It's not going to happen. So got a Tiff.
Tiff.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't love it, but
okay. Tiffany Norton will rejoin us right at. I'm going to give the dad look.
Kind of sucks, Tom.
Boy, look at the time. We'll be right back. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold's do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBernardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBernardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. There's no question about it. Tiffany Norton in studio, Dougie Sprinthal. Okay, we're gonna tell a story, were we?
I'm not sure. I think my
I'm not sure. I'm not telling anything in front of you.
I think my
Tom.
mic's muted, but
no, your mic is good.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
just the.
Can you hear your headphones?
Oh, I think it's my headphones then.
Oh, here.
Oh, thanks.
If he has to turn them on, you have to get out.
Well, it might be low battery. I don't go for these fancy wireless. I like wired things.
Wired ones,
I don't
yeah.
like wireless
You get it?
microphones.
Was it turned off?
No, there's 2 dials. The lower one like tunes it to a different
Oh,
frequency
that's-
or
Oh,
something.
see,
weird.
that's what I'm saying. No,
Yeah.
I want plug and play. I want
There you
to. I
go.
want to
Plug
plug my.
and play.
I want to plug and play.
Nothing wrong with that. All right. So what's the latest?
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Oh God, what is the latest? Well, swinging away. Actually, I've got a couple shows coming
Wait,
up.
what?
Which
Whoa, we're not gonna.
Like,
swinging away.
As
Oh,
in
I
back
was
to
thinking like a
life?
baseball metaphor.
okay.
Not.
Okay. I was like,
Not okay.
I didn't know
I
if that's
forgot.
Congrats. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I wish. No, no.
What?
AJ's key
They
party.
went, the key parties. Oh my God. Is that what our parents were doing? Is that why none of us, is that why Gen X is just such a mess? That's what I was talking to Doug about on the phone, was just, we're lamenting this country, and it's my generation. It's Gen X. We're screwing this up.
It's all your fault.
It's mostly our fault. Most of the worst people come from our generation.
Really?
Yeah. Kamala, Tim Walz, they are baby boomers. They are not Gen X.
Yeah.
We still have not had a Gen X president.
No, that's
And
true.
I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
we
true.
should. I'm here to say we don't even watch. We raised ourselves on wrestling. I raised myself on wrestling. Oh, did you watch Mr. McMahon?
yes.
Wow.
Boy, what a nut job that guy
That guy's
is.
psychotic.
I didn't know there was a thing. I didn't know there was a word for or a term for.
There's a dog behind you.
There's a dog behind me. What? Is there really? Oh my God, there is.
Oh my God, there. I just didn't want you to be shocked.
Well, I saw you looking around and I'm like, am I bumping a cord? I was afraid I was, oh, there is a dog. Hello, doggy.
Bubby.
Yeah.
Andy, did you bring the dog in? Yeah. Okay.
It just wanders in.
Yeah.
With the security in this building.
It's pretty tight.
Yeah.
We actually booked him for the family show.
Yes,
Right.
we did. Yes, exactly.
I want to be his handler.
There you go.
His career's going places. No, I just watched that Mr. McMahon, and I didn't realize there was a term for the script and the setup, the kayfabe,
the whole thing,
kayfabe, and I had never heard that term. And I went on a deep dive. I was like researching what that was, and it's like an old. They don't know exactly the origin, but obviously wrestling. But it's an agreed upon alternate reality that all the players agree to, or it's like a con. You know what I mean?
Sure,
right.
yeah.
Where you as the innocent party come in and I'm like, oh my God, this is the end of Rosemary's Baby. We were talking about horror movies. And at the end of the movie, everybody's in on it except for her. The therapist, the neighbors, all that stuff are all in on this kayfabe. And I'm like, wow, man.
And it's that commitment to the bit like outside of the ring.
Yeah.
It's like if you run into like Rey Mysterio at the airport, you're not supposed to be like, oh my God, let's get a picture, but he doesn't want his picture taken. Or like, if you're playing a villain, if somebody comes up for an autograph, it's like, I'm not signing that. And then you rip it up in front of them. So even though you might want to, because you're a nice person on the inside, and that's kind of, you've seen it go away now. Like I saw a guy, a video of Solo Sikoa, who's supposed to be a bad guy. He's like helping an elderly lady on the plane, put her luggage in the overhead bin. And it's like, okay, in the 80s, he would have smacked that lady.
Wait. I know a lot of pro wrestlers, and none of them would have beaten up an old lady.
Nah, I mean, come on. Hyperbole.
AJ, come on.
Hyperbole here, Dougie. Come on.
Don't facts matter?
Never.
Okay.
Well, in wrestling, I don't know. I mean, this is the one area I think that it's anything. But yeah, it was weird to see the behind the scenes on that. And I realized like I watched all that stuff when I was a kid, but I never understood the business behind it.
Yeah.
Like I loved Vern Gagne and
Vern
Greg
was great.
Gagne and
God, I made friends with all those guys. And the sad thing about it is all but I think 2 of them are dead.
Oh,
Greg's a friend of mine. We worked together for about 6 years.
Who?
He's Greg Gagne.
Oh, I just talked to Greg like 4 days ago.
He's
Great guy.
He's doing
Hook
really,
a sister
really well.
up.
Hook,
Hello.
hook a
Hello.
sister up.
I know. If anybody's got rock and roll Buck Zumhoff's number.
Greg
I loved rock and roll. Well, I believe that storyline. Like one time someone went into the ring. I don't remember who the villain was in that one, the heel, and he smashed rock and roll's boombox. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna fight in the streets
You're
tonight.
right. Your generation should not run
That's
the
what
country.
I'm saying. We should not. We should not. It explains a lot. We all raised ourselves. I did included on the NFL and pro wrestling.
You're giving me great memories about the AWA is where it
The
started.
AWA, the
That's
American
where it
Wrestling
started.
Association. Oh yeah.
Vern
Well,
Gagne's outfit.
okay, I can't name my friend by actual name because I'm not sure she wants this out there, the story. I don't know if we have to go to break, but
Is it mom?
no, it's not my no, it is
Mom.
definitely not my mother. But I've got a girlfriend who's about 10, 15 years older than I am, and she was in her 30s and single. All the wrestling guys used to stay at the old Thunderbird in Bloomington.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she got invited to a party there with a girlfriend one night after a wrestling event. Well, they left. They didn't stay for the whole thing, but every room had a Wapatui in their tub of the bathtub that was just like Everclear and maybe juice, maybe something. And they left when they started doing moves and throwing each other around in the hotel. And they're like, well, we're going to go.
Well, I got to be honest with you. When I first started hanging out with those guys, I was really hitting the weights big time. I weighed 315.
Ooh.
And same thing, they started hitting the booze. They were throwing me around like I was a piece of paper, for Christ's sake. It's like, I weigh 315 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
How can you do this? It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's not that they're athletes. There's no doubt about the athletic ability. I guess I don't know. I also thought Little House on the Prairie was real too.
Yeah, sure.
You know, because it was in my state. and it was based on a book I read. So I thought everything was true in that show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought, I don't know. I'm a little gullible, I guess is the point of this break.
I've never seen that side of you, but
I don't want to burst your bubble, but I also don't want you to go around looking for rock and roll Zoomhoff anymore. He was sentenced to more than 25 years in prison for molesting a close family relative over a period of years.
Lucky.
What?
Tiffany, I can't believe you said that.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Let's make child abuse jokes.
Remember when the show used
Well,
to be on?
I'm just saying I've been molested. But no one good.
It's never the ones you want.
Right? Come on. I could have milked that. You got 25 years.
Yeah, back in 2014.
But I have a type. Do you see, Tom? We talked about this. I come from a very mentally ill family.
You and I both do.
And so that means I'm attracted to men who are more than likely
mentally ill,
going to prison or have been.
Well, 3 of my relatives were murdered, so that was good. Another couple went to prison, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're like, this seems familiar. Something about this dynamic of you hating me feels good. Why is that?
On a somewhat serious but related note, we've been watching Monsters, the Menendez.
Oh my God! Oh God!
And this always happens where no, it's not about sex abuse. It's about people that are in death row or, they're famous prisoners. Women throw themselves at them.
They do.
Both those guys are married.
True.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are, but it happens you'll see like a good looking
photograph
of somebody and they're like, I'll bail him out.
I absolutely get it. It's a perfect relationship. You know where he is.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's a one-way relationship. You have the power, right? And then if you you can punish too, you can withhold and they're punished,
But your mom complained about a 17-year drought. What if you guys have been in for 30?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, there's let's not go there.
I doubt they gave the Menendez brothers conjugal visits.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I don't really think that's a thing anymore.
No?
Not really.
Well, because all the female guards are busy taking that business.
Yeah. Well, commissary's up, all the prices are up.
Yeah,
inflation hits hard in jail.
It does.
It really, really does.
Did you ever have to go visit anybody in prison?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And we have the same exact background.
Yep. Yep. A kid I went to high school with. Yeah. Yep.
Is he still in prison?
No. It was, but he got a year. He got a year for doing, there was a house party and a bunch of guys did this. And this was actually really shocking because back in the day, you could very, very rarely were any men ever prosecuted for anything like this. But this girl she passed out at a party, at a house party, and they did Sharpie all over her face and stuff. But then they wrote a bunch of terrible stuff that was really over the top. And she got up and went right to the police department and went, hey, what in the hell? Yeah. And so they actually did do something, but this guy I knew from high school was one of the guys who did Sharpie. And so I think he had to do a few months. It was just under a year, I think. And then I think there might have been some, yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily I'm not defending, but no, that wasn't cool. Also too, it was things that were permissible back then aren't now.
That's right. No,
and that's good. And that's a good thing because no one, anyway. But I've had to do that.
Are you going to hang around for the family show as well? Or do you have to?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay, good.
Yeah, if I can. I'll be part of the step family.
No, get out.
That's right.
I'm familiar with that dynamic too in the family.
Yeah.
Come here so I can tell you to go away. Come here. I love you. Get the hell out.
You are dull and boring. God, that was one of my favorite lines from Silicon Valley.
Oh yeah, that was a great show.
Chinese comedian that was taken on TJ Miller.
Oh God, that TJ was
Ehrlich Bachman. You are fat and stupid. Oh my God.
This is going to be an interesting family show. There's no doubt about it. But let me close with this. And Tiffany, I think you'll probably feel the same way that I do. That I went through all this stuff with my family and the bad images and blah, 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 blah. but at least my dad wasn't Juan Melendez.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine? As bad as you think your childhood was.
Oh, I'm fine.
There
I'm
are
fine.
a lot of people
I'm
had it
fine.
worse.
Look, we're healthy, we're whole, we're fine, we're not incarcerated. Actually, we're fine. We had great childhoods. We should rewrite that right now. Yeah, that guy. And then people from Menudo are coming out and they're like, yeah,
right.
And that's really what's
Right.
backing it up. You know what I mean?
That's
Because
probably what's going to get them out.
well, I remember watching it when it went down, and I'm like, they're lock them up. These guys are out spending money. It seems like they're real jerks. It seems like this is a convenient excuse. But again, here I am as a woman. I'm blaming victims, right? I mean, and that, but the corroboration or corroboration.
Corroboration. Yeah, very good.
That's probably what's behind a lot of it. And it's been a long time. It's been 30 years. Even if they did do it, they've been in for 30 years.
That's probably enough.
Well,
but you know how pissed off you have to be to shoot your own mother and father in the face.
So what's funny about
Holy
this is I was a few
Yeah.
episodes ahead of Tom. Like, you got to watch this. You're going to hate the Menendez brothers, but just wait. And he would call me, go, those sons of bitches, I want to just kill them. I said, Tom, have you seen episode 4 yet? No, I can't. What's it even worse? And I said, I'm not going to spoiler alert it. Don't Google it. Just wait until you watch.
Yeah. And what'd you think?
The rest of the story. Well, you realize that whether it's true or not, you got to think that a lot of it is.
Well, and then they've got letters, because that's the thing that they always say is, well, why didn't you say something? And I have had many friends, male friends of mine, confide in me that they have had, an experience like that, unwanted from an adult male. Right. And they are deeply shamed by this and terrified for anybody to find out. And let me tell you, once you can just even write it down and burn it and get rid of it, but just let it out. You gotta not blame yourself, because but he had written 6 months before the cousin saying this was happening. He had confided in these people, and a lot of that evidence just didn't hit home. And a lot of people got a raw deal the early days of Court TV, because everybody's in there making it like it's a football game, picking sides, cheering for this and that. And, that's not how the courts are supposed to work at all. This is not supposed to be. This is someone's life, and someone probably lost a life. And so let's have a little more reverence for that, But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. God, we went from cancer to...
Yeah,
we got it all.
God, we're just woo.
We got
bring on the ratings. All right.
Okay, I'll close with this one because a smart ass friend of mine who was a couple years older than me when I was a kid. There was some case that came out. This has been in the late 50s, early 60s, where a guy was molesting children, and you didn't hear that much about that back in the day. So we're sitting there talking about that. A couple of days later, I said, "Man, I still can't believe that the guys are molesting their own children, and it's a horrible situation." He goes, "Well, why do you care about that?" I said, "Well, I mean, imagine if it happened to me." He goes, "You're not that attractive."
Don't flatter yourself.
It's like, gee, thanks. I feel much better now. I thought it was very funny. You guys are hurt much more than I was.
Oh my God.
I thought it was hilarious. All right, we do have to take a break. We'll be back in about 7 minutes with The Family Show.